Hi, I'm Arthur Moats, number 55 of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Former Mizzou Tiger Marcus Golden.
This is former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver J.J. Bird, and you're watching the Outsider Sports Show.
The measuring stick just changed around here, buddy. You're looking at it.
Welcome, everyone, to the Outsider Sports Show podcast. Your money stays and plays with us, Clint, Switzer, Noah Gronniger. Noah, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas, but it's time to get back to business, my man. The fat man may have come down the chimney, but it's time to start thinking about NFL playoffs, and that's all that's on my mind, my brother.
You talk about the fat man coming down the chimney. I'm talking about the fat lady singing on the Chiefs' chances to win the AFC West. How the West was lost. It was last night with the Broncos beating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, right now the Chiefs, of course, have they have secured a playoff spot. They will be probably the 5 seed, but the 3 seed or 6 seed still in play depending on what happens this Sunday. Chiefs will host the Oakland Raiders in a rivalry game, and who better, Noah, who else would we have on to talk Chiefs-Raiders rivalry than our good friend, our great friend, George Atkinson, the former Raider.
The Raiders.
He is coming in dressed in his silver and black with a whistling brow about his head and a black mustache and the whole John Facenda thing. It's all George Atkinson. He's coming up here on this very show. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, definitely not. We've got a lot to talk about. What this game means for the Raiders. Charles Woodson's last game, trying to get to 8-8, which they haven't done since 2011. This does mean something to the Raiders. A rivalry game, trying to spoil things for the Chiefs, try and make them the 6 seed, have to go on the road the whole way, no matter what, even if the Jets, who would be the 5 seed if they win, even if they win out, the game would still be in New York. Chiefs would not have any chance at a home game.
Well, they may not as it is. Denver with that big win over Cincinnati vaults them, secures them a playoff spot. Right now they're the 2 seed, which is kind of crazy considering they could have been out of the playoffs altogether with a loss. But they come up with just enough plays in the second half to win that game. Cincinnati's A.J. McCarron was...
Empty hand! It's a fumble!
What a weird deal.
But then he drops a snap after that, so it didn't matter.
Is every Denver game just bizarre?
They are.
Happening.
They have to do that with their quarterback play being shoddy throughout the entire season, whether it's Brock, whether it's Peyton. The defense is solid in there. They're going to keep it close, and then crazy things happen, always in Denver's favor. Always.
Just coin tosses won. Of course, they're going to get the ball, go right down the field. Cincinnati unable to answer it. They win. And Denver is a team, Brock Osweiler has shown some flashes, and I think in the second half of the game he did that, but I don't know. I think the Chiefs are the better team at this point, despite another home performance by the Chiefs this past Sunday against Johnny Manziel and the Cleveland Browns. The Chiefs, 9 straight wins, though. They are in the playoffs for the first time since 2013, Andy Reid's first year here. And this team, it's time to win a playoff game. I'm sorry, it's time to do it.
Especially if you're at Houston. I mean, you just feel like you have to. You're the better team. You beat them week 1.
But yet,
Brian Hoyer's been out with a concussion. He's probably going to come back. I mean, how is he going to get back into the swing of things? I mean, you have to win that game.
But yet,
although everything leans in the favor of the Kansas City Chiefs, something is going to go wrong. I'm still picking the Houston Texans in that game, whether it's a Cairo Santos missed extra point to lose the game, a missed field goal, Jay Howard with a roughing the passer, 1 on time down, Brian Hoyer, DeAndre Hopkins has it in the corner of the end zone. It's over. The Houston Texans have won the game.
Oh, I'm already dying thinking about it because that just brought back pretty much every Chiefs playoff failure to right in front of my very eyes as you made that fake quasi horrific radio call that surely won't happen in real life. But hey, here we are. It's playoff time. We're excited. We have George Atkinson coming on. Tell you what, guys, we're going to get George Atkinson here. He's coming to Kansas City. We're going to be his bodyguards, his protectors, as the former forearm shiver man himself who once knocked Lynn Swann completely unconscious.
Knocked him silly.
He's coming in here, and we will be the ones taking care of our friend, our Raiders friend, our silver and black friend, George Atkinson. He's coming in here. It's going to be great. Take him out for some KC barbecue, and he's up for it, man. He's up for it.
We're going to cover it, George. Don't worry about that. We've got it all covered. Leave your money clip at home. If you see George walking,
tell him it's your credit card that they'll be picking up.
I can handle it. A little light after Christmas, but I can scrape through my couch cushions to find a few pennies.
It helps
to cover
that it's the night after New Year's. It'll be the day after New Year's when we get back in town and do this thing. So
yeah, that does help.
That might lessen the bill just a little bit. Stick just a water and your main course, and that's it.
Yes, if you see George walking around the plaza, looking around at the plaza lights, maybe taking in a carriage ride around the plaza.
Be nice.
It's the Christmas
George
season. Is a great guy. Yes, he's a Raider. He's going to be wearing his silver and black. he's going to be screaming obscenities about the Chiefs and how they're going to win and end the Chiefs' chances at possibly winning the division if the Chargers can beat the Broncos. But George is a great man. Be nice.
Let him go on a carriage ride with you. You'd never have such a great time.
Oh, that laugh is infectious. You're going to enjoy it. Make sure you keep him laughing, and it is going to be a wonderful, magical night on the plaza and a carriage ride with the one
guys
and
right
only.
Here on the Outsider Sports Show. That's what we do. We don't just like to sit here and listen to the sound of our own voices. We go out, we find the guests, we build the relationships, and we have been able to do so with George Atkinson, a former Raider who played, I believe, 11 seasons in Oakland, was a part of Super Bowls, was a part of just battles with our Kansas City Chiefs, and it's great for us to bring him on to get that Raiders perspective for you guys, because you're not going to find that anywhere else. That's a promise. And our podcast, of course, guys, it's available on iTunes, on YouTube, on our website, Great American Sports Network. We just thank you guys all for listening. And with that being said, it's time to bring on our guest. He is Mr. Raider himself. He is a former Super Bowl champion. It's George Atkinson. George, happy holidays. Happy New Year. Welcome to the show. I hope you had a great holiday season. How's everything going, man?
Man, I had a great Christmas. I had the family over, had all the kids over. And I have a competitive family. You can imagine.
Is that so?
And, we just had fun being competitive and doing our thing for the holiday.
Well, George, you're coming out to Kansas City this weekend for the Chiefs-Raiders game. How's it going to? Are you ready for the trip? Are you ready to come out here and experience some of this cold weather and some of the KC barbecue here in Kansas City?
Without a doubt, I always love coming to Kansas City. I had some pretty good games there when I played, and I enjoy coming out with the team to watch them play. This year, Kansas City Chiefs are going to get a little competition. Raiders beat Chargers, they beat Broncos, and they want to make a complete sweep of beating at least teams in the division at least once, which is a big improvement for this team from the last few years.
Well, and of course, this will be Charles Woodson's final game in his storied career. I mean, as if the Raiders needed any more motivation. Of course, trying to play spoilers a little bit. Chiefs, of course, have clinched a playoff spot, but the Raiders can maybe knock the Chiefs down to the sixth seed as they're still trying to win the division. But all the emotions surrounding Charles Woodson, I mean, how do you think this defense is going to come out playing with being Charles' last game?
Well, you know, Woodson's had a storied career, basically. When you look at it, man, I mean, it's like two different careers. When he started here with the Raiders, he started out as a great player, number one draft, big Heisman Trophy winner, and the whole bit coming out of college. Played here 7 years, then went over to Green Bay, won a Super Bowl, and he's back with the Raiders in his career. And quite sure that I'm pretty sure he's going to be emotionally jacked up because it is his last game, and he wants to go out on a positive note, and I'm pretty sure the Kansas City Chiefs will like to subdue that and not let him have a big game, and I'm pretty sure they will try to stay pretty much away from him if they can, because Charles is a playmaker, and one thing I think the Chiefs will do is try to work him out of the game plan.
Well, the Raiders have struggled in the secondary for years. You know that probably better than anyone. Losing Charles Woodson going into next year, I mean, you said that earlier on that they need corners. I mean, now they're going to need super safety help back there. I mean, what do the Raiders need to do in the offseason to bolster that secondary?
Well, you got to go find at least one good corner and somebody who you can bring in and replace Charles at the free safety position. That will be a task for this organization to try to replace Charles. So what you try to do is find a talented enough player that can come in and work himself into the lineup and play well for you every Sunday, maybe build the career that Charles has had. Charles is just a natural athlete. You can't replace him at all. So you go out and find a guy who you can bring along to be a good player in that position. But it's hard to replace Charles.
Well, I'm thinking the only person that might be able to do it is if you yourself, George Atkinson, have a few snaps left in you. Do you have any snaps left in those legs?
Those days are gone, way behind. But I do have a son coming out.
Yes.
Another son that's coming out this year. He's playing in that AFL All-Star game down in Los Angeles on 23rd. He can play. He's a defensive back himself. And he may be able to come along and fill that gap if the Raiders so desire to look at him. But it's going to take a phenomenal player to come in and even match anything close to Charles Woodson. And that position you got to look at as developing the free safety position, because, as I said, he held that down pretty good, and he's one of the few guys who could have done it the way he did for 18 years. So the Raiders just have, Reggie McKenzie, who's done a great job so far, has to continue to do a good job and go out and find somebody who can play in that secondary. We got a good kid in Emerson. We just need another corner, and we need a safety. And if we can find two players that can fill those positions, the defense, I think, will be set with Khalil Mack. You got Turk coming back, Justin Tuck, coming back. Smith, he'll be off of his probation thing. The Raiders are set defensively, I think, except for the secondary. And we talked about that earlier in the year.
Yeah.
That was one of their weaknesses, is their secondary, and it proved to be right.
Well, the Raiders are coming into this game 7-8 and a chance to get to 500. There's got to be some motivation there for this team to finish the season with a strong win. Kansas City, of course, has won 9 straight to try to break the Chiefs' win streak, try to knock them down a rung. I know that's just a similar situation happened in 99 when the Raiders came in, actually knocked the Chiefs out of the playoffs with John Gruden. This won't knock the Chiefs out of the playoffs, but it would be a great precursor for next season for the Raiders to come in here and win. And you got to believe that that Coach Del Rio wants to get this one and get this team to 500.
Plus to have three wins in the division. You beat Denver, you beat San Diego, and now you got a chance to beat Kansas City, which puts you in a great position coming back to next year as far as feeling good about yourself playing in a division. And if you can split it with Kansas City, it means that, hey, the best team in the division you split with Denver, who had, at the time you beat them, they had the best record in the AFC, and San Diego is on hard times right now. So this organization, this is a big game, because going out will have a lot to do with the guys coming back. If you go out on a winning note and you come back during camp, spring training, and training camp, you got a good feeling about yourself. Plus, you feel good about the division because you've had success in the division the year before. So it means a lot. It's not just exit game for the Raiders. Trust me. It's a game that carries a lot of weight as far as the future of this franchise playing against the Chiefs.
Well, after this game, whether the Raiders win or lose, the Chiefs are headed to those playoffs. What have you seen in this team? I mean, obviously you've played them once before, got a game coming up this weekend. What do you see in the Chiefs heading forward in the playoffs? I mean, you've got quarterbacks like Ryan Fitzpatrick, A.J. McCarron, Brian Hoyer. I mean, the Chiefs look, 9-game winning streak, possibly 10, heading into the playoffs. It looks like they could be one of the stronger teams.
Well, I think they got a good shot at the playoffs. I really do. I mean, win, lose, tie, draw with the Raiders. I think once the playoff starts, this team will have to crank it up, and I think they're equipped. They got the weapons to be successful in the playoffs, and I think they can go deep into the playoffs.
Well, even without Jamal Charles, this team has managed to reel off these 9 wins. It's unbelievable, and you've seen Denver. Denver's in a position now to win this division if they're able to beat San Diego next week. But, I want to go back to your playing days, George, and the rivalry between the Chiefs and the Raiders was at its height back when you played. Just take us back to, kind of some of your memories of playing against the Chiefs, and maybe one that sticks out, a game that could have went either way, something that just really sticks out in your mind from the rivalry.
A number of games sticks out in my mind because we play them twice a year, and I played for 11 years. So I got to see the Chiefs quite a bit, and they were a solid football team every time we played against them. Some of the fond memories I've had, I had a big interception against the Chiefs in Kansas City when Lynn Dawson was the quarterback there, and I had a big pick in that. The game I'm talking about, it kind of turned it around. But, was it my rookie season or my second year that Kansas City went to the Super Bowl and won. We beat them twice that year, and we had them again in the championship game for some reason. I don't know what happened in the conference that we met them 3 times. We got off to a good start, and we had a big play come up where Otis Taylor caught a ball that we considered was out of bounds, and Lynn Dawson went on from there to beat us. So we had beat them twice that season, and they beat us in the championship game. They went on to win the Super Bowl, I think, against Minnesota. Yep. That, to me, was, I think, the biggest game that we played them in Oakland for the championship after beating them twice and faltering by, I think it was a 3-point difference.
Yep.
That kept us out of the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'll tell you what, George, it's been so many great memories, so many great times that in your career, and now the rivalry maybe we'll come back a bit and have some meaning, especially going forward. These are teams the Chiefs should still be good in the next couple of years, at least under Coach Andy Reid, and the Raiders are a team on the rise, no question about it. So it's going to be interesting to see the Sunday.
Some more playoff championship battles, I guarantee, for the division.
I'm up for it.
There'll be a battle between them because right now, when you look at the division, those are the 2 teams who are on the rise. I think Denver's on a decline. I think, San Diego's definitely on a decline. It's the Chiefs and the Raiders who are now building to be the powerhouse in the AFC West. So it's going to be some good games. Hopefully we'll have much more to talk about in the future about these 2 teams. And this game is coming up this weekend. It'll be a very good game, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be back there, and hopefully I can hook up with you guys, and maybe we have some barbecue or something.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to bring that up. Definitely got to get you out for some KC barbecue, hopefully before the game, George. So we got to hook up maybe on Saturday night and make that happen if you're going to be around, my man.
Definitely. Give me a call, man. I'll be there Friday, as a matter of fact. Get in on Friday.
Perfect. Well, we look so much forward to it. Before we let you go, we got to ask you about there just been a Football Life on NFL Network about Snake Stabler and you. I just wanted to get your thoughts on him because that Football Life program just aired. You were clearly just as a teammate. And just what were your thoughts on him? He was literally like, if you put an eye patch over him, he was the Raiders logo. If you ask me, like, he just was a Raider. He was a Pirate.
Snake was definitely the epitome of our organization during that time. And I had the distinct pleasure of playing with him throughout my whole career. We were drafted the same year in 1968. And I'm from Savannah, he's from Alabama. And we used to drive cross country and follow each other during the off seasons, and we had a ball. Some things I can talk about, some I can't. but what a gentleman. But you know what the tragedy of this whole thing is, man, is that it took them, after he died, to induct him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I thought Bush lead for the Hall of Fame to do that, to keep him out while he was alive. Then now that he's dead, they're talking about bringing him in. Man, what a mistake that was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crime. I mean, he played in so many huge games with names, the Holy Roller, Sea of Hands, Goes to the Post, the Immaculate Deception. I mean, obviously, your guys' Super Bowl 11. Can you just talk about those big games and how he was so clutch in those?
Man, many games that he was a part of that, just memorable football games all through his career. This guy was the epitome of what a quarterback was about during the time we played. And I'm going to miss him. Good friend, good teammate, and a heck of a dad from what I understand.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after that Super Bowl, he said 5 minutes after he walked off the field, he hugs Al Davis and says, "We finally did it." And Al says, "Can you do it again?" I mean, is that Al Davis just never being satisfied, always wanting more? You guys overcame the Pittsburgh Steelers dynasty to finally win and get to that Super Bowl and win it. And was Al Davis just like, now it's time for our dynasty? Like, I'm not satisfied with just this one.
Yeah, and he was never satisfied with just winning one. He won multiple Super Bowls. And, you look at that era I played in 8 championship games. I think Clint was the quarterback of 7 of those that we could have gone to the Super Bowl. And that's how good of a quarterback this guy was. He quarterback playoff teams every year that he was in the league, which says a lot. Just a class act, man. Class act off the field, class act on the field. And a guy who deserves to have been in the Hall of Fame, I think, some time ago. But, the powers to be didn't have that. And I'm pretty sure he'll get in this year.
Yes.
But it's just a tragedy that he didn't do it while he was still alive.
And you hope the same fate does not befall Otis Taylor here in Kansas City, and that could be another issue down the road. But George, I'll tell you what, we know you're busy. We know you got your schedule is tight. So let's definitely hook up on Saturday. We're going to give you a call. We're going to get you out for some Kansas City barbecue, and you can count on us, George. You don't have to worry about it. We've got your back. No incidents. Clint and Noah, the outsiders, you stand with us, and there's no ruffians around here in Kansas City that can get to you, my man.
I didn't catch the last of that. You kind of broke up.
I said, hey, when you're here in Kansas City, we'll hook up with you, hopefully on Saturday night for some barbecue, and you don't have to worry about it. We got your back. We got your back. You don't have to worry about any Kansas City ruffians coming after you.
Have my back.
You bet. So, hey.
You better have my back. I come up with that.
Hey, absolutely, George. Well, I'll tell you what. Happy New Year. Take it easy, and we'll see you in Kansas City.
Happy New Year. I'll see you the day after New Year's, hopefully.
You betcha, George.
Get in on New Year's Friday, and hopefully we'll hook up Saturday to Kansas City fans. Happy New Year.
Thank you, so.
We're gonna try to spoil everything on that Sunday for you.
Now that we might not be able to let you do, but the rest of it sounds great, George. I'll tell you what, we'll see you, man. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You got it. All right.
There you have it. We are George's personal escorts on Saturday night. It's on. He will not have a bit of fear inside his body going out in Kansas City with us.
By his side. I mean, we have got George covered. We have been practicing our forearm shiver. We've been watching old game film of George Atkinson. Anyone coming over the middle had it coming from George.
Absolutely. What a great player and a great talk about this game, because I think that I agree with George that there's a lot to play for the Raiders, even though they're not playing for a playoff spot. They're still playing for next year. I think they're playing for Charles Woodson's final game, and they're playing for next year, and they want to spoil this game for the Chiefs. They really do. The Chiefs have won 9 straight. If they were to win their 10th, it'd be the longest winning streak in franchise history.
Rolling into the playoffs on a hot streak, 10-game winning streak. The Raiders want to put an end to all of that and ruin our new year.
A lot of people are talking about the Chiefs' offense, which has struggled at times during this win streak. Of course, I mean, which is natural. But having to hold on to beat Cleveland, having to hold on to beat San Diego, obviously any type of win streak, you're going to have close games. It's the NFL. Is this Kansas City Chiefs offense playing well enough, though, to do some damage in the playoffs? Or is it just by default with the rest of the rosters that we're looking at, the rest of the quarterbacks, that by default we just don't look so bad?
I think it's a little bit of both. By the teams we've been playing, we don't look so bad. The teams that are going into the playoffs injured, especially at the quarterback position, we won't look so bad. And I think we can do some damage. I mean, the Panthers have had a lot of close games during their 14-game winning streak. It came to an end on Sunday to the Atlanta Falcons. You're going to have close games. You can't blow everybody out. You're going to have off days. But the Chiefs, what the magical thing is, it's that they found a way to win 9 games in a row. Whatever it takes. Things going wrong, Johnny Manziel magic. I mean, he's running all over the field, backpedaling for first downs between defenders, not getting blown up. The Chiefs always keep finding a way to win, and that's the magical piece to their season so far.
Well, I want you to put this in perspective for a minute. Kansas City started the season 1-5. We all know that. Denver started the season 7-0. The Chiefs clinched a playoff spot before Denver. That's unbelievable. And still a chance to win this division for Kansas City. Not, I don't know where I'd want to handicap it as far as a percentage chance. Probably somewhere around 20 at best.
20,
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm an optimist here by nature. Not really. Just ask me. Just ask any one of my friends or family members. But anyway, I don't know. I think that Kansas City. Another thing I would say is that the play calling has been conservative. When the Chiefs had a 17-3 lead at halftime, the Chiefs knew as long as they don't make any mistake, they're going to win. They're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that you expected the Browns to go on whatever it was. I think it was an 11-play drive to start the second half, put a touchdown on the board, and control the time of possession in the second half. I don't think that was expected. But a little bit of conservative play calling. Maybe in the playoffs, you see more opening it up like they did against Indianapolis 2 years ago, which resulted in
they better
points.
Because they shut it down in the second half in that Indianapolis game, and you saw what happened. 45-44, a loss. You are going home. No matter what the lead is, I mean, you've got to maintain some level of aggressiveness. Well, you can't be overly aggressive. You can't try to force things, make things happen that aren't there, but you also can't be check down Charlie, captain check down, playing
hall
not
monitor.
to lose. Yes, the hall monitor. You can't play to not lose games. You got to go out there. You got to grab hold of it. You got to get that win. You got to take hold of it, especially in the playoffs, games where you cannot afford to keep games close, and one or two plays here or there could change the tide and make you lose. Go home.
Well, how important is this game on Sunday? Because a lot of people talking about, well, the Chiefs don't have much to play for. They got the playoff spot clinched. I think that the Raiders are coming in here with a purpose, and I think that, like George said, that it's going to be a tightly contested game. I really believe that. Do the Chiefs need this 10th straight win going into the playoffs? I think they do.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that well, maybe the Chiefs don't have a lot to play for. The Broncos play the Chargers this weekend. The Chargers stink. The Broncos just have the division. Just give it to them. Especially in this year's NFL, and you've seen anything can happen. The Panthers, like I mentioned earlier, lost to the Falcons last weekend. That ended their 14-game winning streak. The Chiefs have had close games with the Browns, the Chargers that could have gone other ways. The Steelers,
Pittsburgh played themselves out.
Pittsburgh played themselves out, losing to Ryan Mallett, who's been a Baltimore Raven for 10 days, and he's out there looking like Joe Montana, Tom Brady. I mean, anything can happen. So you still have the AFC West to play for. You've got a 10-game win streak that you're trying to grasp. You want to be playing, like we mentioned, how they've had these close games, not played well against bad football teams. You want to try and play 60 minutes of football, which they haven't really done. They found ways to win, yes, but we need to see 60 minutes of complete football from this team, especially heading into the playoffs. You want to be playing your best football. Just ask the New York Giants how they usually do it every year, 9-7, sneaking into the playoffs, but hot, and winning all the games, beating an 18-0 football team in the New England Patriots, and that's how they do it.
Well, and how important, because I think that despite the fact that Tom Bahali and Justin Houston have been out, and Houston for a extended period of time, and Hawley missed the game against the Browns, you got to get one of the two back, both preferably, because I'm telling you what, the combination of Frank Zombo and D Ford on the field for an entire game is not cutting it for me. Although, once again, the defense did play some didn't break against the Browns, gave up 13 points. Time of possession, yes. Rushing yards to Johnny Manziel, yes. Still a decent performance without your two top pass rushers.
Well, yeah, I mean, D Ford is... yes, he has come on. He's played better, especially that Chargers game where he had 7 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 pass defense. He did play better that game. But he's a liability against the run out there. You need Tom Bahali. You need Justin Houston. Frank Zombo's a liability everywhere. You cannot have Frank Zombo on that field playing football, especially heading into the playoffs. I mean, it might work for one game against the Raiders coming up, but you can't have him on the field for playoff football. Frank Zombo just is gone. He needs to be replaced. And D Ford has done some nice things. Like I said, you need Tom Bahali out there and Justin Houston. They're stout in the run game. The pass rush ability, you need to get pressure on the quarterback. Marcus Peters on defense. Not just, I know everybody's saying Defensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, yes, he's been amazing. I think Defensive Player of the Year.
There's an argument for
that.
Yes,
there's
8 interceptions, 2 pick sixes.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's picked off the likes of Peyton Manning. Yes, he's had a down year, but it's still, hey, it's Peyton Manning, and he's a rookie. You think Peyton Manning will be able to fool him with his mind tricks, Jedi mind tricks, for you Star Wars fans out there? The new
Not me.
Not me either, but I thought I'd mention it. But there's
we can tag that in our video now.
Yeah, Star Wars Force Awakens. Right here, catch it. That's the only reason I did it. But there's talks of Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, Kawhi Short, the defensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers, who's taken over their defense, and talk of maybe him being the team MVP over Josh Norman, who's gotten all the publicity. But Marcus Peters, for my money, I mean, this guy, he's not quite the shutdown absolute corner like Darrelle Revis is yet, but the guys
keep testing him. They keep testing him.
Yeah, and the guy's a rookie. He's always around the ball. He's not playing off all the time. I mean, he's there to make plays, to get his hand on the ball, to tip it up, to make interceptions, to return it. He can bob and weave back for a touchdown. I mean, this guy has it all. I'm so excited about him. I'm so excited that Darius Moore...
Yeah, he saw it first.
He has watched the film and has called it. I mean, But let's be honest, Darius Moore has no idea what he was talking about. John Dorsey didn't know. Marcus Peters didn't know. Andy Reid didn't know. The fans didn't know. Nobody knew that Marcus Peters was going to be this good, this fast as a rookie with 8 interceptions. It is unbelievable. I mean, this guy, all the stories coming out where he has problems with coaches and authority figures and taking coaching and taking
let's get more of them, because if that's what it's
how to play off the field and how to be a good person. But I mean, Marcus has been an upstanding guy as he's been here, a teammate, and what an absolute fantastic player.
Yeah, it has been a great year for him, and 10 wins, 10 game winning streak on the line, which would be a franchise best twice. The Chiefs have won 9 straight games, and this is the chance to finish with 10 straight wins, which is unbelievable. And that word is so overused. We've said it about this win streak ever since this began. It's unbelievable. It's surreal.
Watching that Chiefs-Vikings game, coming home from Georgia on NFL Network, trying to stream it on a phone, just not caring. It kept crashing, so forget. I don't care.
Just didn't care. We lost 13-10 or 16-10 to the Vikings. It was over 1-5. Just forget it. Here we are at the driver's seat. This is the time you want to be playing your best football. This is the time where stuff really gets ramped up in both the NFL and here at the Great American Sports Network, definitely on our show, The Outsiders Sports Show. Big things coming up from our video side of things, which you'll always be able to check out on YouTube along with these podcasts, which are also available on iTunes. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you out at Arrowhead on Sunday, welcoming in the Silver and Black, welcoming in George Atkinson.
Keep those AFC West division title hopes alive, because they are.
Going to keep it alive. Happy New Year. Check us out on all of our social medias, guys. GreatAmericanSportsNetwork.com. Facebook, check us out, Great American Sports Network, GA Sports Network on Twitter, Outsider Sports Show, subscribe, iTunes, subscribe.
Stadium Crashers, our documentary, check it out, we got so